What's up, YouTube? It's me, the artisanmc. It's Sunday. It's 11:13 a.m. and this is Shop Talk Live. Thank you guys for coming through today. This will be an interesting show because I'm going to give it 20 to 30 minutes to show me if I should do the show or not. And if I do not see results in that time, I will shut this bitch down and go about my day doing something else. Because I'm entirely tired of having too many fucking haters sitting in my midst. Actually working for the fall of the things that I work on. Because I understand trying to build a black geek community on YouTube is not easy. And I really don't appreciate motherfuckers trying to fuck that up while standing in the middle of the crew. That is really unappreciative. Especially if they ain't trying to do shit themselves. So I'm gonna give it 20 minutes. And then I'm gonna leave y'all to your own devices. So it's either gonna be me or it's gonna be the white boys. But you figure it the fuck out. Because I don't really have no loyalty for them. I don't know why anybody else over here does. I really don't. But in the meantime, as you can see, my bottle of Terramana over the week has gotten close to empty, so it's almost done. It's actually better mixing it with something because I don't like tequila. Despite what you just saw, I haven't been drinking that shit all morning. I just started, poured me a little bit just because I was waiting to see what was going to come out of me when I turned on this mic. Because I had my stuff written down that I wanted to talk about, but I was really interested what was going to come out. It's like Tupac says when he was making songs. It's not so much him sitting down to write a song, it's what the spirits want to push out in him. That's it. You just being a conduit for the spirits and the spirits of your ancestors. It's not just you. So you are telling the stories that the spirits want told, your ancestors want told. Like one of the things I'm feeling right now is that support, that Judaism, put it that way. Motherfuckers that stand next to you to try to make you help you fall, more than they stand next to you to help you elevate. And being that we're coming out of a point in time where we're in retrograde and stuff like that, and there's a lot of negative energy fucking around. It has eased a bit, but that doesn't mean I forgot none of that shit. It doesn't. And I'm really apt on destroying a lot of fucking people because of it. I'm really on my Scorpioni shit where I fuck all of this up. Just because at least then maybe after you burn down the forest, you can build something better on it. All the snakes will run in that sense. So if you like, if you share, if you support, if you don't, fuck yourself. Because make no mistake about it, I don't make my living off of YouTube. So me being angsty about YouTube is not because the channel is not growing monetarily. I am more than 3/4 of the way to my goal that I set for this year already. And that's just from working my ass off. Doing what I do every day. So this ain't about no finances on YouTube. In some ways, it's about intellectual property and growth. Now, to speak to this point a little bit, I was informed of something that I was not aware of at the moment because it was not knowledge that was given to me. Now, in conversation with Dr. T, he told me something about this little thing right here, his book that I bought, as you can see. I bought a hard copy. I didn't buy digital. I bought a hard copy, so he got the money off of that shit. And you see my bookmark that I'm reading through this book. Every time I have some time to sit down, this book goes everywhere with me every day. That I'm reading this book. And he told me something that I hadn't even came to in the book yet. He said, you know, you got a credit in the book. I'm like, what? Why? This is like, for real, why? I just do me. I didn't realize I had done anything. And sure enough, he said, yeah, you're in the index. I'm like, really? So I went back, and sure enough, I looked in the goddamn index. I said, well, let me see. What the fuck you put me in there for? And sure enough, in that index, on page 88, is artisanmc. Now, I didn't go immediately to page 88 and start reading what's on that page because it might just be he was named or some shit like that. I didn't, but I was really humbled that the brother actually thought enough of me and what I do to actually put my name in his book. Now, that was humbling for me. It made me feel good, but it was really humbling for me because I, as a perfectionist in some senses, never think I've done enough. Never think what I've done may be good enough because it's never to my standards. Not anybody else's, never to mine. And mine are high. This stream right now, how it's starting, it's a little bit too fuzzy right now on the screen. So it sucks to me. It sucks. I got a number of people in there. It should be bigger. Should be more. I'm going for 15 contributors on this show. I got 2. That's a goal. It's not a monetary goal. It's a goal to see who is responding to this content, who is partaking and supporting this content. Most of the time, the shit you guys donate on Cash App, I end up filtering other content creators. Black ones. You know how they say that the black dollar doesn't circulate in the black community, but 2 hours or some shit like that? No, I make sure mine does circulate in the black community because I support other content creators. I support content I don't even fucking watch from black content creators in this space. Nobody else. And at this point, now I don't got my nuts on my shoulders, but I've been in this space for a minute. Making content. Which largely I think goes unappreciated. In some senses. So that from Dr. T let me know that it did humble me a bit. It did humble me. It means I should have been reading the book faster to get to that part. But it was not the first time somebody has done me a respect like that. It wasn't. And I don't say that to diminish Dr. T's work. I just say it as me thinking about it and actually pausing to think about it. This is actually the second time. You know what the first time was? My boy JT, his comic Sugar Rush. He put me in his comic. He put me and my daughter in his comic. The dude's name even has my last name. Kind of looks like me. He's an inventor. He builds and stuff like that. He has a relationship with his daughter. All stuff that he knew about me that he put into this character in his comic. You know, the shit he's writing and making and publishing and stuff like that on his own. Another black man. I saw that shit. I was once again humbled, shocked. Like, oh shit, thank you. Why? Like, I'm really thinking about that. Like, why? Well, here's the why. I understand it. I understand it in the sense why I would do it for someone else. Like, I write a book. I write a book about being a black geek on YouTube or anything like that, and how you integrate geekdom into your life as an adult man in an area that's traditionally dominated by white folks. What does it actually mean to you? How does it actually work? I would credit people that I interact with in the space, that I've had conversations with that have engaged me, like the Angry Man, BGS, Dr. T, Artie Ibmore, Charles Faulkner, AB Media, Malika, Black Bane, JT, Chris, Joe Herb, all these people that I talk to on a regular basis that have these conversations about geekdom and what it actually means to be a black geek in a place that's largely dominated by a bunch of motherfuckers that don't know shit. I understand what that means. It means that you show them respect, that they have garnered respect in my eyes for what they love and appreciate, which matches up with what I actually love and appreciate as well. Because make no mistake about it, me and Black Bane had a conversation for the last 2 days about this dumbass shit going on in Star Wars and Ahsoka. 2 days on Instagram, back and forth, talking about the shit we have to talk about with other people. And match up between what the original stuff was and what the new stuff is and is not. And why people even go into doing shit like this. Fucking up some man's life's work to retool it and make it something that you want to use for yourself. So you can stand yourself on top of his shoulders and say, look, I'm a big man. Or I'm a big woman. It's sickening. It's absolutely disgusting to me. And the more I imbibe this stuff, the more I just get completely turned off by it. The more I don't even want to look at geekdom, because it is just as disappointing as the rest of this goddamn world. From a bunch of people who create nothing, critique everything, and ruin absolutely everything. Utterly. And yes, Malika, it is showing love and appreciation for other men. Because I don't have a problem doing that shit. There was a line from Fight Club. And this book was made by a white dude. It was written by a white dude. And in it, Tyler Durden's alternate personality, because that's what Brad Pitt was, he told him that maybe you've been raised as a woman, you've been raised by women, and all the rest of this stuff. Maybe another woman is not what you need. Meaning, maybe you need to get tight with your brothers and appreciate what it means to be a man and appreciate that maleness. Yeah, all of these people are brothers that I'm talking about. They all are. And you know what I can say to probably a fact? Each one of them is given less respect than they actually deserve from other men. I don't give a fuck about women's respect necessarily, because why? Why would you? That shit goes wherever the money is and wherever the wind fucking blows. And maybe I say that because I ain't never been no street nigga that had a chick really down for him that would be willing to kill a motherfucker for. Maybe that's it. But I don't think that's the pinnacle of a chick being down for me. I don't. I don't think that's the highest expression of it. I think the highest expression of it is a bitch wanting to have my damn baby. I want to raise it with me and not try to cut me out of his life. And speaking positively on my name to said child, even if I'm not with her ass. To me, that's the highest form of respect. But yeah, they're all men. They're all black men. And the reason why I give more of them that respect than anybody else is because I know what it means to be a black man in this world. So why would I give anybody else more respect than I would give one of my own? Why would I? I carry this damn book with me everywhere because I want people to see it. I want people to ask me questions. And mind you, I walk in a lot of places and a lot of black folks. And I carry this shit with me because I want them to ask me a question about what is this book and what is this book about? Read the cover, bitch. You know who this person is? You ever heard of Dr. Tia Johnson? Yeah, you should buy that for your son. Yeah, your mixed kid, you know, to have black and something else one. Yeah, you should buy it for him. Let him read that shit. Maybe he can get some armor on his goddamn brain. Maybe you should read it too, so you understand what it means to have a child in this world mixed, but not have him have any connection to understanding what it means to be a black man in this world. Maybe you should. Might be fucking helpful for you. What up, Herb? I must have summoned you. This is what comes out from understanding that, yeah, we can watch these fucking shows. We can play these video games. We can do all of this shit and all this culture and get wrapped up in it 24/7. What is it speaking to us specifically? I said this before that black folks is known for running with somebody else's banner and fighting for them. When are we fighting for us? If I want to repeat scholars nowadays, outside of my college years, I repeat the ones I know in this space. You know why? Because it helps to echo their message. It helps to let people know, hey, that's a black dude. Yeah, I know. We ain't never had few of them. You've had a lot of black scholars. You just don't pay them no fucking attention. And let me rephrase that. Black male scholars. Doing scholarly work. But being shit on because somebody else has not done that level of work. So it's easy to write it off by claiming it's the patriarchy or some bullshit like that. Another person who's never created a goddamn thing wanting to tear down something that somebody else has already created. In the time that I've been in this space, we have had at least 4 authors publish, or at least 3 of them for the first time publishers. Where do you think they finally got the confidence to do that shit from? Talking to white folks? Now make no mistake about it. I have white Caucasian friends. I have for a long time. Always have. But make no mistake about it, I understand who the fuck I am. I understand the world that I live in and the obstacles that I interact with, that I have to negotiate and overcome. I also understand they ain't helping me with all of those. You know why? Because some of them benefit them. And in a race with your friend or anybody else, only one person's going to hit the tape first. If something is there to slow your ass down, why would they run slower? So you can beat them. No. They're going to take that advantage and keep running with it. They're not going to wait to possibly lose out themselves. No, they're not. And you can see that interacted with anybody on this fucking planet, at least in this country, just walking through the world on a daily. You want to see it really in stark relief? Go to a mall, be in a crowd of people, sort of, to get on the escalator. See who tries to run ahead of your ass to get on there first. Watch them. You all gonna get on the escalator. The escalator is still going the same place. But these motherfuckers will act like they're giving out a prize to whoever gets on it first. And somebody will cut you off to get on there ahead of your ass. That's a psychological mentality, motherfucker. That's trained into them. To understand they need to be ahead of your black ass. Since that is there for them. So I don't give a fuck about shouting out and giving props to black folks that I know, especially black males. Because they need the help. Everybody else don't. Everybody else got their group supporting them, not black males. So it's more incumbent upon me to recognize my position, to help any other black male that I can, rather than boost some other motherfucker who don't need my help at all. There's no butter biscuits I'm looking for. If you want to be funny about the shit, I like my biscuits with gravy. The brown gravy at that. So when you see stuff like Herb and you hear me trying to motivate Herb to finish his comic and publish his comic, why do I do that? I've been doing that for years. Because I want him to have the confidence that there will be somebody there to buy this shit. Even if he has to sell it to people that ain't fucking black. Because being in the black community, you already know you can't rely on 100% of them. You can't. You can't rely on 100% of them until white folks start spending money with you and blow you up to a certain point. Then they'll get on board. Because white folks' ice is always colder and their money seems to be always greener. So then they'll jump on board so they can say they always believed in you. To gain some cultural acknowledgement by being next to you. Up until that point, they'll let your ass struggle. So they don't tell me you know anything about no white sausage or their gravy. Don't tell me that. Fuck up my fantasies. So for me, I wouldn't say I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed. And the first person I can be disappointed in is, I think, myself. Because I know there's more I could be doing. There's better I could be doing. Because I am critical in that way. But taking that responsibility onto myself, I also know there's shit other people can be doing as well. And then you have to question, why are they not? The answer that comes back, even from the ancestors, is that they want you to fail. That's why. You fail and makes them feel better. Because nobody likes to see a black man winning. Don't. But I do. Although this is not his first book, this is a fucking win. That's a win, just like, where's my copy? Just like this is a win. I'll put Grinch over there. Oh, there it is. Just like this is a win. Just like this and this is a win. These are all black men going out, putting their voice out there and doing the work to produce something, to tell the rest of us who didn't want to spend that time doing that kind of work what the world really thinks of us and how we can react to that shit. No. Look what I found. This is my boy JT's book, Sugar Rush. That's me. That's me. And not because I made it up. Because he told me himself. Oops. He told me that himself. Showed me the breakdown and everything. I don't have that shit just for shits and giggles. I have it for actual information because I buy a lot of goddamn books. A lot of authors. You know the ones I really buy? Really try to hold on to? Black folks. White folks ones is gonna be all right. They got enough people in the world to support them, but they'll be good. Even a shitty book will make them money. They can have a career off of it. Black folks don't. They need our help. Because most people forget to understand about this whole culture especially in the West. Black folks don't like it. White folks won't fuck with it. Why do you think hip hop been here for 50 years? Because black folks was buying it? No. That first 10 years of hip hop, first 5 years of hip hop, when only we liked it, white folks was writing that shit off as a passing fad. Couldn't play it on the radio, couldn't really find it anywhere. Yeah, couldn't give a fuck. Couldn't care less. Ruining the youth, all that good shit. Until they start seeing how much money it can generate. And they figured out a way to capitalize on that shit and start seeing that this was going to be the dominant music. That little white kids was walking away from rock and roll and all the rest of that bullshit, poppy music and stuff like that. And they wanted to actually listen to hip hop and rap, what these black boys talking about, what these black men predominantly were talking about. That's when them record companies got on board, because they didn't want to lose that money to anybody else. And the record companies wasn't owned by a lot of people, a lot of black folks, that is. Because initially what you had is that every black artist, they used to have to start their own fucking company. They used to have to start their own label. That's why they were entrepreneurs. That's why Too Short has been around for so long. Dangerous music, Sick With It music, Get Low records. Every one of these artists had to produce their own shit because the gatekeepers to them getting their voice out was not letting them through. So they had to do it themselves. Well, the record company didn't want to see another goddamn Luke Skywalker, a Master P, Jay Prince, they didn't want to keep seeing that shit. They didn't want to see all these black dudes blow it up and being their own fucking moguls. Are you fucking kidding me? Russell Simmons, Puff Daddy and Bad Boy, they didn't want to keep seeing that shit. That's why they started bringing them motherfuckers into their companies and letting them run this. Here, I'll let you just pilot my shit, boy. You just bring your friends in here, and we can make y'all some money. We'll make you rich. To keep them fucking afloat, so they didn't get swallowed up later on by some other big black entertainment company who had all the black folks over there with them. Why do you think in comic books, DC backdoor put the kibosh on Milestone, only to turn around and buy Milestone and then pimp out their characters? Because Milestone would have swallowed them up. They would have had a competitor. It's the same reason why Marvel and DC hated Image. Because Image came in and made themselves a competitor to Marvel and DC. And what did Marvel and DC do? Go on awful deals to their competitors to get them from off of doing that shit, get them on to doing their stuff. It can work for me. That shows the weakness of their fucking position. They knew they would be overtaken. They knew the other person had a superior product. Yeah, Barry Gordy and Motown. I gotta get Newstool to talk about that shit, because I know Newstool and Charles know all the ins and outs of that Motown shit. I don't. I wasn't raised like that, unfortunately. I wasn't. I was raised by a woman who talks black but don't give a fuck about all of that shit. Mm-mm. I was raised in a gynocracy. And people calling me right now, probably upset because I ain't called some people back. And there's two people I ain't called back, and both of them is females in my family. because they expect me to have some kind of reaction to some shit that I honestly analytically understand I can't do a goddamn thing about. Can't do nothing about it. I gave you advice on what to do weeks ago. You obviously didn't fucking listen. So I am not going to be up in arms, boo-hooing and crying right now off of some advice I told you to do to prevent something from happening, and you didn't do it, and then it happened. The fuck do you want me to do about it? Cry? No. Do you want sympathy? Sympathy was a month ago, damn near, me telling you exactly what should happen next. Since ain't none of y'all got nothing but time on your hands. Time and money to fuck off. This is what you need to do. You didn't want to fucking listen. Okay, don't listen. Now what you got? Some shit you want me to listen to now. There's nothing I can do about that. Absolutely nothing. A conversation ain't bringing none of that shit back. And you boo-hooing about it to me ain't doing a goddamn thing. While you're sitting there hoping I don't say, I fucking told you so. Emotional fucking labor that I am not picking up the tool for. I'm not. Fuck that. No, I'm not. That shit going on, I know I can't call you motherfuckers about. Handle it. Take care of it, right? Y'all strong and independent. Well, independently deal with this shit. You don't need my advice. You don't need my time. You don't need my sympathy. Independently, strongly deal with it. I'll be over here doing the same. No, and every man understands that shit. You cannot worry about things you cannot control and you cannot change. Because that's practical. Worrying about shit you cannot change or control is emotional. You ever seen a woman lose your shit as a man? Have you ever seen a woman lose her shit when you say it is what it is? You ever seen that? Who has seen that in this chat? I just want to know because I've seen it a couple of times. Most recent time kind of made me chuckle. Kind of made me chuckle at the time. But that's what I said. It is what it is. Motherfucker lost their whole shit. Whole shit. For what? Threaten me with something that I wasn't afraid of fucking losing? Do you? You mad it wasn't going to have an emotional effect on me? Why should it? Told you, I get more shit with people for asking one question. It can be broken down to one letter. Why? I get more shit because of that. Oh, you got an attitude. No, I don't. I just want to know why. You can't give me a reason why you got a fucking attitude. Because I'm just not doing what you think I should be doing. See, that's your problem. I am not a tool. I'm a person. So you're going to have to give me a reason. Just like when I ask somebody something, I have to give them a reason why they should actually help me. So in that vein, hour in. I said I was gonna shut this shit down, so I guess I will. In that vein, that's why I asked you for your support to support this shit going forward. Because I can leave y'all to the rest of these goofballs talking about all this geek shit. No, don't know. Copy, steal, paste, lead, all of that shit. And I can watch it just like you are and know they full of shit while you take them serious. I can. Because outside of creating my own book, my own comic book, I've been at pretty much every level of this shit. And the rest of y'all ain't. Or have not. So that's the only thing missing. But I've been in the store going through the back issue Ben's Geek. I've been the retailer selling this shit, seeing the numbers. I've been the owner having to run a shop to sell this shit and seeing the numbers and spending the money. I've been the asshole in the lighthouse, still supporting this shit when everybody else thought it was childish. You should grow up, get into cars, clothes, and all the rest of that shit. I've been that guy. I am that guy. But the other part of it, I'm that older guy, and I understand shit changes. And I understand when my day might be gone. And I ain't never fucking coming back. You can cry about it, you can lament all you want to. But until anybody is going to take fucking action, it's just fucking gone. Now, I told this to Black Bane today, that why I get on people online a lot of times about complaining about all the shit that's going wrong in Star Wars and shit like that and geekdom, and why I take issue with some of them is because all you're doing is complaining about a problem. You're not fixing it. You might not be given any solutions. And you're young enough to where you can get involved in this shit and change it, and you're not fucking doing it. So why should I listen to you bitching? You were right in the age group to be able to affect the change on it, and you're not. I'm fucking 50 years old once. How the fuck should I care? I have cared for at least 30 of the damnedest years. At the least 30 of the damnedest years. At the least. More than that. But let's just say 30. All the way up to the point that I took personal investment to try to sell this to the next generation of kids, to steer them towards some decent shit to watch, to give a platform to other creators so they can sell their shit to those very same kids and audiences. Motherfuckers worked to bring that shit down. Okay, so you don't fucking have it. What are you gonna do now? Think I'm gonna listen to you bitching about how fucked up things are? You want it fucked up. You ain't doing nothing about it. It's like a kid complaining about his room being filthy. You don't want to live in it. You don't want to keep throwing all this shit in here. Why don't you clean it the fuck up? No? You don't want to. You don't know how to clean. Well, that's your fucking problem, nigga. Not my concern. This is your thing to do. If you don't want to do that shit, then shame on you. But don't think I'm about to jump in and do anything about it just because you crying. Fuck you. And the funniest thing about all of this shit is the belief that all I am is a geek. No, it's part of who I am. I push this shit in any other way that I am, and you see the more that I am. You get any level of fucking anger in me, you see how old I am. That's why I tell people, especially women, you want to know how old a man is, look him in his fucking eyes. And I'm not talking about while you're on your knees servicing him. You look him in his eyes, you'll see how old he is. And it ain't chronological. You can see by what he has seen. The wariness in his eyes. The coldness in his eyes. You can see all of that shit. You'll feel it. That's how you know. That's how you would know if you made that mistake of knowing you in the room with somebody who would take your life. You look them in the eyes and you'll feel it. You'll feel it and you'll see it. There will not be something there for you. It will not be. And you'll know that moment immediately. Like, oh shit. You will know. So that's my soliloquy for 45 minutes. I'm going to get to these cash apps. Did not hit the goal. Minimum safe distance. 1, 2, 3. Halfway. 7 out of 14. Well. Shout out to UYP Studio for donating to the chat. Appreciate you on the super chat side. Thank you for supporting the algorithm. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate you, studio. Next one goes out to Toya the Tutor. I tell him Toya, something with T's in it. She says, Scorpionic Spirit Conduit Calf. Pretty funny. I'm not a, well, I guess in that way you could say that. I would say I'm not a conduit for the Scorpionic Spirit, but then again, I could be. It has to be bigger than me. I'm fine with that. There's some things that are bigger than me. I welcome that. So I look up at the cosmos. So appreciate you, Toya. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate it. Next one goes out to the Malika Me Bain. He said for the Sinatra Select Fund. Appreciate you, Malika. I already got a bottle of Sinatra. I always have one. I always have one on deck. I keep one. I pick one up every year. I actually end up picking up two every year, but I keep one for the next year. So when those rainy days come, I can actually drink it. But I feel like having that really good, I can drink it. But appreciate it. I will give you 3B salute. Appreciate you. Shout out to always faithful Joe Herb, dropping a big dub in there. Appreciate you, Herb, and stay. Herb, I hope you finished that last comic, the second part of Blue Marvel and Thanos, because I am looking forward to seeing that animated. I would tell you to advertise it on my show, or I would invite you to advertise it on the show. But given the numbers, nobody sees this shit because apparently they don't share it. So probably be better trying to show it on some white folks channel, because we know even black folks watch that one. Just saying, the end goal is for you to get your stuff seen and be able to produce your own comics. So, good done, man. Good done. So to Joe Herb, appreciate you, Herb. You know that. I will give you a double that. Appreciate you.
Money for the crowd, double that. Fat, double that. 100 on the sack, double that. Block like a ghost town, still double back.
So Herb got a birthday coming up too. He's one of the few people around me who shares the same birthday as my son. So we got Herb, my son, my cousin, ex-wifey. All birthdays are on the same day. All Scorpios. All Scorpios. So first part of November, it's gonna be lit. There'll be a lot of scorpionic energy flowing, but it does dig into a Negro pocketbook. I have a pocketbook, I mean wallet. Shout out to Studio, UYP Studio, donating on the Cash App side as well. Appreciate you, Studio. And it just says from Studio. Appreciate you. I like being able to use the word studio as a pronoun. It's his name, Studio. It's a thing. It's a person. It's a proper person. Studio. So appreciate you, Studio. I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate you.
Double up, 3 or 4 times. I ain't telling no lies. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the was.
Brother shout out goes to Swift Battle. Appreciate you, Swifty. Always faithful Swifty. He says for the Geek Sunday tribute. Thank you. Swift always come through and hit the collection plate. I do appreciate you, Swift. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate you. Shout out to the number one wrench, Akoteki, said he'll catch the replay. Family emergency. Take care of the family, man. I'll never be the one to tell you not to take care of your family. Take care of the family. For real. I hope everybody is doing well or better than whatever the situation was. I got one too, but I don't consider it an emergency. There's nothing I can do about that shit. I'm not a doctor. And like I said, you didn't want to do what I suggested a month ago. So why are we here? So appreciate your studio, Aquateki. I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate
Double up, 3 or 4 times. I ain't telling no lies. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the was.
So many blessings to you and your family. On the real. And Herb said, working on it right now, bro. Good. Good, Herb. I'd really like to see you get published. I really would. Just for me, just to shut some people up. Who never did shit and always complain about stuff. That's why. That's why. Just to keep forcing it in their face. That what have you accomplished? At all. I mean, really at all. Nothing. So shut the fuck up. Too many of the wrong people get to talk. So, well, that's an hour. So half the time equals half the time. So I'm going to give an hour to the people who donated. Because I got 50%. I'll give you 50%. You get an hour. And then I'm going to go back to doing something else. So, what do we want to talk about? Who want to hear some flambe on something? You want to hear it? Throw it in the chat what you want to hear something about. What little morsels or nuggets did you pull from someone else that you want to talk about over here? Because I find it really funny when I listen to the conversations when I'm not a part of it and hear what people have to say. And then I drop a video giving my reviews. And then they drop another video adding all of that shit into their own commentary now. I think it's pretty funny. It's like a fucking feeding frenzy with piranhas. Real fucking funny. But my shit slowed down the ladder. They should blow up the ladder. Swift Battle said the foundation. All right, Swifty, you paid for it. What you want to hear about the foundation, man? Because I just put up, I think it went ahead and went live recently, was my review of episode 9 of the foundation. Because I'm gonna have to watch some other content creators to see who's watching this shit, because apparently none of y'all are. So I'm gonna have to watch some white boys, see what they have to say about it. Maybe I'll get a conversation with them about it. Because like BGS is fond of saying, you find your tribe. I guess I'm gonna have to find my tribe. I can't make one. Episode 9 was enjoyable. Okay, Swift. It was enjoyable in a way, after fashion. It was enjoyable in the same way episode 4 of Ahsoka was enjoyable. If you think about it, you'll probably come to the same solution. Why was it enjoyable? What did I enjoy about it? Action. More fucking action. That's all it was. The action was enjoyable. Not really a lot of story. There was a lot of info dumped in the foundation. but it was mostly the action moving the pace of the show along that made it more entertaining. Because at the end of the day, you need action. I think that's why I'm not as entertaining on YouTube as I probably could be, because I don't do a lot of goofy shit. I sit here and talk to you guys, but I'm not having a bunch of arguments with people. I'm not overly animated. I'm not using my hands and making goofy faces and shit like that. That's not what I do. It's not who I am. It'd be fake if I was. So it's not entertaining to watch. There's not a lot of action happening, which makes, some people really animated about, oh, this was really good. Really. As a matter of fact, let me send this link. I wonder if he's up, because I know he wants to talk about something else later on. 1 second, you guys. Let me send this shit to Black Bang because he said he wanted to come through. So before I get to talking about that shit, I'll make sure I send him this link. So if he wants to, he can come through and we can actually chop it up. There we go. All right. Link sent. So 9 was more enjoyable because it was more action. I did like the space fight, the space battle, seeing the whisper ships go up against the switchbacks was nice. The switchbacks reminded me of carumbits. Looked like a flying fucking carumbit until it opened up. Like, that's a knife. Looked kind of cool. I thought they looked goofy sitting in the landing bay. But once they got out into space and opened up, I said, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But then they can roll over and shit. Like, why don't you just land that way? I don't get it. Anyway. Thoughts on the origin of Demerzel? All right, Swift. Part of the origin of Demerzel is from the books. Okay. It's from the robot series with Isaac Asimov, right? He did this series, I think, along the same lines or right before the Foundation series. So Demerzel being a robot and an extremely long-lived robot is important because it goes to Isaac Asimov's other stories. But the origin is kind of muddled up. Some of it is actually true from the books. Some of it may not be from the books. Some of it may be from the earlier series that I did not read. I have not read that series yet. But in the realm of the story of this show, it is interesting. But interesting in the way that it pivots the whole show onto Demerzel to keep it going. And that's what I'm not really liking after this episode. It was really a strong pivot to her being the important thing in this whole deal. And Demerzel was not really. Demerzel set up a lot of stuff in the books, set up a lot of things, and really helped Harry Seldon keep pushing forward on making psychohistory workable, practical use. But Demerzel left after a while and was out of it altogether. He guided humanity as best he could for so long, and he finally just went behind the scenes. That's what I want to see in this series, but what the series is doing, instead of getting rid of Demerzel, it seems like they're going to go ahead and get rid of the Cleons like they're supposed to and pivot everything over to Demerzel. being the lead character in this show, which I don't like. All this shit about making her the forever empress and all that shit, that don't exist in the books at all. Demerzel was never there for power. Demerzel was never there to run everything. He was the power behind the throne, but he didn't want the fucking throne. He wanted humanity to succeed, because that's the first rule of robotics, which they mentioned in this show, which is key, because that comes from Asimov's robot series. The first rule of robotics is do no harm to humans. First rule. They mentioned it in there, but he flipped it a little bit. He just couldn't do any harm to him, because these robots do kill people. Like, nigga, no, they're not supposed to. That's the whole point. Demerzel was a male in the books. He was a male. Now, a robot being male or female is really not an issue, because it's a robot. It's only an issue when you have this robot now having sex with human beings. The emperor. And then want to call her an empress and all this shit. Demerzel was never interested in Cleon, the throne, power, none of that shit. Demerzel did what he did in the books for the perpetuation of humanity and the empire. Yes, he was a cold and shadowy figure, because that was his job. He was the emperor's most trusted advisor. And people barely knew what the fuck he looked like. That's why he could walk around in public and most people didn't even know that was him. But they knew the name of Demerzel, and they knew that was a problem, nigga. You got on Demerzel's radar, your ass would go missing. So nobody fucked with him. So yes, he was a male in the books. They changed him to a female. And for the most part, most of the other stuff you've seen has not been really that messed up by having it be a female, except you get a little bit more emotional shit. Because now Demerzel has to be on the camera in every frame more often. When in the books, he wasn't. He wasn't there often. He would come in, he would come out. But when he came in, you knew that the area was charged, it was something important, and then he was out of there. But he was very helpful to Harry Seldon. Very helpful to Harry Seldon. Because he actually saw the merit in the psychohistory. And he was also the one who told the emperor about it, told him he should take interest in this. Because if maybe it doesn't work, but what if it did and somebody else got wind of it? We need to have him under our thumb so we know what the hell is going on. Demerzel worked it from both sides and looked after Harry. So the way they're going with this, it's like by the last episode, they'll probably get to that point where Demerzel is actually working with Harry, but it'll be in some convoluted ass way where it's a robot working with this AI that now has the Prime Radiant and learned how to read it. It's not the way that shit works. Just so you can keep this one character in there. Like, I'm thinking it's really funny in this series. I was looking at it today when I was doing my thumbnail about how they pivoted this show. Like the first season was all about Gal Dornick, which is another ripoff and kind of bastardization of a character from the Foundation story. Black chick is on all the advertisements. This season, who's on all the advertisements? White dude. Well, you already know where it's going to go next season. Back to that white chick. Less sex, more of that. More girl bosses. Why do you think Harry is still alive in his body, not really human? The reason I think Fleshbag Selden is still alive, and understand I make these names up so I can differentiate between the two of them for you guys. The Harry Selden that's in the vault is AI Harry to me. That's what I call him, AI Harry, because he's not really Harry Selden. Harry Selden is actually dead. But this AI Selden from the vault on Terminus, that's AI Harry. Fleshbag Harry was the one that was in the Prime Radiant. He was on the Raven ship. He was an AI, a secondary AI for the Second Foundation that got turned into a human being some kind of way. Some kind of way he got turned into a human being. Now, whatever way that was, I don't think it was actually natural. So him showing up in that episode, beating the brains out of a chick with a lead pipe, cracking her fucking dome piece open, means that however they brought him back works a little differently. He's looking like human, he's reading like human, but maybe he is not exactly human. Wouldn't be surprising. So maybe something else going on. Maybe it's the brother. I don't know. But they will have some explaining to do on why he didn't drown. Because I thought, to me, watching that scene of them staking him out in the surf and drowning, that was a practical scene. That wasn't no CG. That was practical. That shit would have fucked me up to film. I wouldn't have been able to film that scene. That'd have been fucked up. No. I wouldn't have been able to film that scene. Because he looked like he was really drowning. Really did. And coming back a day later and seeing his body still there floating under that damn water, like dead as shit. He really dead. And what they bring him back for? I don't know. I don't think he can hold his breath that damn long. So they're gonna have to do some clever fucking explaining for that one. Okay, Swift said, last question. Cleon Dynasty. Are Cleon the first last words to the 16th foreboding? In a sense. The whole Cleon Dynasty thing is something that they made up for the show. It was not in the book. Now, while it is interesting that ideal that you have yourself at different points in your life being the emperors, and it's just a clone, and once that clone gets to a certain age, you decant another one, and you have that elder clone raising the younger clone until they get to the chair, the center chair, and now they're the emperor running stuff, and they've decanted another clone, and they're raising this younger clone of themselves while you're still there as being the original one. It's an interesting concept. It is a really interesting concept on how to keep power within one group of people for so fucking long. Problem is, those Cleons are defective. 16, 17, or 16, 15, 16, 17. They're all screwed up. They're all defective from Cleon the First. The fact that him coming 16, going to that alcove, and that AI version of Cleon the First recognizing him and talking directly to him means that they're going to probably hit the reset button some kind of way. And I think that's what the signal that Demerzel got, that there was something she had to do immediately on Trantor as she was piecing out and talking shit to Brother Day. The reason why I think Demerzel will get to that point that she's talking shit to Brother Day, telling him how she failed with guiding him, is that she's done with his ass. She is done with him. She's about to cut that motherfucker loose and let him get whatever the hell he get. She's getting her ass back to Trantor to spin up another clone and get shit right, because Brother Duskin found out some shit he ain't supposed to be messing around in, and I think she knows. I think she knows he's in there trapped in that fucking alcove. I think she knows that. That's the signal. that she got that she needs to go check on. And that's why she's piecing the fuck out quickly. She need to go deal with that shit. Because you can't have Last Empress Rue and Brother Dusk with that damn information out there. It could be damaging to Demerzel. You could have him kill Demerzel. Good. She was trapped at one point, sliced up like that death row inmate that gave his body to science so they can slice his ass up and make him a CG person in a computer. She could be like that. She could be just like that all over again. She don't want that. Because what they did in that show is make her like a slave. Twice. Subjected to the cruelty of a man. Twice. So, yeah. The Cleon Dynasty, that shit is going away. The Emperor does not last in the Foundation series of books. He don't last. That shit falls apart. I believe it was the first book that you noticed. He talked about what the decay in the Empire was and falling down, is that Trantor is a huge dome world in a sense, right? A lot of technology took to build it. And looking up at that huge dome, there's like a light flickering. Because you have this inside dome, and perfect example of it in the real world now is the Sphere in Las Vegas. How the outer side of that thing is all LED screens and it can show all kind of weird stuff. You take that and invert it to be the curvature. That's what the inside of the Trantor Dome looks like. And Harry Seldon going through there is seeing that one of those lights are flickering out and not being repaired is a sign of the decay. It's a sign of the fall. Just like in the real world, the decay of your fucking roads shows how broke your county or your city is. The more potholed and fucked up roads you have, the more you can see money is not going where it should be going. So, yeah, it was foreboding. Cleon's is done. Cleon's is done. I don't think they will see an 18th. Not going to. That shit is over for them. And it might be over this season unless they drag them around to next season so you can see them really on hard times. But being that Lee Pace is one of the coolest characters and the best actors on that show, hesitant to believe they'll filter him out after 2 seasons. He is being a draw to that show, just playing Brother Day. Just playing Brother Day, he is a draw to that show because I like every scene that he's in. And I'm sorry, but that motherfucker is cut like a bag of dope. He is cut. I don't know if he got any fat on his ass, but he does cut an imposing fucking silhouette. Like, goddamn. And he can act. Oof. No problem, Swift. I like talking about this shit. So I like the chat moving. I don't necessarily come up to see y'all can hear me talk, but you know, it is. But yeah, if you, even in an inkling, even if a little bit you like the Foundation show, I'm not going to shit on you for that. Because I told you, watching it just as sci-fi, not knowing anything about the books, you could probably enjoy it a lot. You can enjoy it a lot because you're not matching it up to anything in your head. And that's where I have the problem of enjoying the show as much as I can because I know the source material. And the whole time I'm watching it, shaking my head at some points like that was not accepting this is what you're telling me, how this is working together for this story. This is not the goddamn book. I'm not expecting the carbon copy, but I'm not expecting you to burn the goddamn book at the same time. What up, Ray? So that's how I've been able to enjoy this second season, because I just watch it like sci-fi and try to really divorce it in my mind from being the foundation books. But every time I do a review, that's exactly what comes up. That's exactly what comes up. Like this, yeah, but no. But no, but yeah. So it is what it is. So next part for those paying customers. Excuse me. I guess tequila makes me sleepy too. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. And I've been up since like 6:50, 7 o'clock. Got that video done, and then hear what you happy people. So let's get to the other part, which is Ahsoka, and then I'll get out of here. I'll give you 30 minutes on Ahsoka, and then I will shut it down after 2 hours. That's probably 4 times the attention span of anybody. So I said that the Ahsoka show and the Foundation show had a similarity in episodes. The episode 4 of Ahsoka was similar to episode 9 of the Foundation in one way only. And that way is that both shows had more action going on in this episode, which made it genuinely more entertaining for people to watch. Okay, granted. The other thing you get out of this Ahsoka show is more girl boss at this. Not my phrase. But in some ways it makes sense. In other ways, it's just irritating. Now, I will say this about the Ahsoka show, and I said it in my Cardisan stream the day after. This is not the best Star Wars has ever been. Get the fuck out of here with that garbage. It's not. This is not true fucking Star Wars to me. It is not. Since when is Star Wars about people trying to fight people they cannot best? Jedi, Sith, Force users, what have you, doing dumb shit, being the lapdogs of other people, standing around and swinging lightsabers like baseball bats. Since when? Since when did a fight between Ahsoka and I'm gonna forget his name because I keep wanting to say Ray Stevens, Balin Skull, end up being a better fight scene than Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith? Since fucking when? When did that happen? That fight scene wasn't better than they fight against Maul. Get the fuck out of here. Since when is someone untrained in the Force with no talent for the Force able to pick up a lightsaber and use it effectively? Now, I know what people are going to say. Well, Luke picked it up and he didn't cut his fucking leg off back in the day. Okay. Noted. Luke is Anakin's son, though. Who's Sabine's daddy? Now, I'm really feeling like Dave Filoni is the wolf in sheep's clothing inside of Lucasfilm. And that's why he keeps injecting all these wolves, and that's his motif to everything. An opportunistic fucking scavenger. trying to rewrite Star Wars into his image and push George Lucas out. Why he's saying he respects George. Dave Filoni is looking a lot like David S. Goyer to me, which means you'll leave a lot of plot holes. Many holes. Well, to Her's point, yeah, Luke did get his ass handed to him by Vader. But that was after Luke had some training. They didn't go fight Vader in the first movie. Oh, no. You saw Vader from a distance. You saw the dude that you was looking up to, he cut down. So you was not ready. Second episode, you had some training for a couple of years. Okay, you can come back and test your mettle. Sure, come on up. Cost you a hand. Okay, bully for you. One of the things me and Black Bane was talking about, and Black Bane was bringing to my attention because he's having arguments with motherfuckers on Facebook and in person and stuff like that about this shit, was that, okay, so lightsabers are turned to their low heat setting now because getting stabbed with a lightsaber is no longer fatal. Even though it can melt steel, Durasteel, cut rock, all the rest of this shit. You getting stabbed in the stomach, you'll get better. You'll be all right. And only men die from lightsabers. Only men. Women can get stabbed with it multiple times. They ain't going to die from it. They're not going to lose a limb. They're not going to have a beauty mark that doesn't make them look shitty in a bikini. They'll be all right. And every woman we can find needs a lightsaber now. That's the part that's bothering me about this shit. Not women having lightsabers. No. Because I forgot to mention this before. The reason why I don't like the name Sabine Wren, because it's too close to Saba Sabatine from Legends canon, which was a snake-like woman, master, who was the teacher of Leia Organa Solo. That was her teacher. Saba Sabatine. Saba Sabatine was a beast, like figuratively and literally with a lightsaber. That's why Leia was such a force when she finally took up the Jedi training and became a Jedi Knight. She was such a damn problem. That was her master. That's why I don't like the Sabine shit. It's a play on words. Taking from what already existed, repackaging it in your way. The other thing I want to say is, why do we need two Mandalorians wielding laser swords? Or three. I finally remember this other chick's name, Bo-Katan. Why do we need three? And the only ones who can actually hold the Darksaber correctly are the women. The dude who's a more competent Mandalorian, he can't hold the Darksaber. You know, his intentions aren't clear. But all the females can hold it without a problem. Because their intentions is real fucking clear, huh? Yeah, agenda. The agenda saber don't work. If a woman's not holding it. What up, Beast? Yeah, this is all forces female shit. Dave might as well be wearing that goddamn shirt. And have, in fact, a vagina on the top of his cowboy hat. Because he's trying to be more Skywalker Ranch than George Lucas. He gonna wear that cowboy hat too. Now, for me, I'm sensing a fucking grift. And it's stupid in the sense that me and Black Bane was talking about it. You weren't seeing this shit earlier. You're missing it earlier. That this shit has been plotting along and plotted out since they first introduced this goddamn Ahsoka character. And start rewriting canon to pluck these characters in there at different points. To basically just overshadow the Legends characters that did the same shit already. Did the same stuff already. Now, I will make a change to my definition of this shit with the fulcrum. Fulcrum, in a sense, is it's not the center where things turn around. Fulcrum is the pivot point where things are pivoted one way or the other. You know, like having a little dial of destiny MacGuffin cube or sphere point you in the direction of another galaxy. So you can go over there and start playing with your own toys again and totally remove it from this other galaxy so nobody can tell you what you're doing is wrong. The Force is definitely female in Dave's idea. In Dave's idea of Star Wars, the Force is definitely female. It is mostly females. Not that there have never been females in Star Wars canon. Not that they have never been prominent, strong, forced to be reckoned with females in the Star Wars canon, even in Legacy. No, just because Disney and a couple of wide-eyed, feminist anarchists decided they need this to be all about females because females need to support Star Wars more than males. So every female needs to have a lightsaber now. And every female needs to be better than any of the males around. And every major point in Star Wars needs to have been gone through by a female. They have to be the gatekeepers of that shit now. One of the points I brought up with Black Bane was that by plucking Ahsoka into the Clone Wars era and having her have to fight Anakin and have him turn to the dark side and then fight Vader and having her all emotionally distraught and feeling good in Anakin even way back when, all it does is push Luke Skywalker off to the side and say, nigga, I knew this before you did. Now Luke ain't special. That's no different than KK wanting to make up this whole Maeve character and make her the original chosen one. Get in front of that shit so now Anakin is not important. Put it in the women's hands. That's all that shit is. That's all you're seeing doing. Because make no mistake about it, Ahsoka's been around since the Clone Wars. Bitch should have been dead already. Why are we getting post Return of the Jedi stuff happening with her involved in the mix and no Luke? Oh, because you went back and backfilled this Rebel show in that shit. So you can have more of your characters involved taking the shine from Luke, where he's supposed to be the only Jedi in the galaxy at this point. And all of it rested on him. Now you got some other little goofy ass chick running around with her now Padawan, which she can't have because she is not a Jedi. And she is not a Jedi Knight. So how the fuck are you taking on a Padawan? What order are you following? No order, no structure. Fuck you. So, yeah, everything needs to now be gone through by the females. And they keep putting the female in every point to diminish the original legacy characters that were there and already did that shit. Who gets to talk about how badass and how much they like Princess Leia when now you got General Harrison Dula running around post Return of the Jedi? She's the badass, tough woman. That's Leia's job. You know, former Senator, General Organa. Huh? Oh, we don't need to worry about Luke. We got this badass Jedi over here. You know, Ahsoka, the one who walked away from the Order. We don't walk about for a number of years. So she's just gray now. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm enjoying the first season of The Mandalorian. I don't know why a lot of people are telling me that season 2 and season 3 is garbage. Season 2 is the best season for The Mandalorian. Mandalorian season 1, Mandalorian season 2 are really good. Season 3 is trash. They killed that fucking show in that season. And now, I said it watching the show. I sensed the female's hand involved in the shit. That was some KK shit because it was regurgitated scenes from the sequel trilogy's movies. It was. And everything pivoted from having Din Djarin standing in the back of his own fucking show, and everything pivoted on to Bo-Katan. It's going to all be about her. And the next show we do is going to be the Bo-Katan show, all about what's going on Mandalore. Well, that might be interesting. I ain't got no hate for Katie Sackhoff. Don't really have no hate for the Bo-Katan character. Why? Because I didn't watch fucking Clone Wars. But this ain't her fucking show. And the whole show pivoted like a fulcrum onto her. So they took the Mandalorian show that was Jon Favreau's baby from him and put it completely onto a woman. Another character Dave created. Destroyed the Darksaber. Dave created. Just like they destroyed the Skywalker saber. KK did. So they destroy the legacy. And ruin that fucking show. Now they don't even really want to give Jon Favreau a season 4 to fix it. They ain't giving them the money for it. They're not. They want to turn it into a movie so they could be 2 and out with his ass. Killed the whole fucking show. Just so everybody can praise at the altar of Filoni. He's the chosen one. He is going to save us now. Green light a movie for him, green light this show, and then you see in the show, like, what the fuck? No wonder they cancel season 2. Yeah, but we want to do something with the spinoff characters. What fucking spinoff characters? Look, you shouldn't get a spinoff until you've had 3 to 4 successful seasons. Then you can get a spinoff. You don't get a spinoff after one show, one season of a show. And please tell me, I'm not about to watch a fucking Sabine Wren or a Harrison Dula spinoff show. I'm not watching that shit. I don't care about these characters when they're in an ensemble. I damn sure ain't giving a fuck about them solo. But it's probably not for me. It's probably not for me. I'd have to be 20 or 30 years old and have had some affinity for the Clone Wars animated cartoon that broke canon all over the place and the Rebel show that broke canon all over the place at the hands of Dave Filoni. So no, I don't know what people you listen to, but tell them to suck a dick, a Beskar dick at that. Season 3 is garbage. Trust me on that. You can watch it if you want to, but it is not necessary. Don't put yourself through it. I went through it. Do I look happy about it? No, nigga. Season 2 gave you the best reveal for Star Wars fans ever because it brought Luke Skywalker back to prominence. You want to see how much prominence that was? Got everybody hyped about season 3 and thought there was going to be hope in Star Wars again. That's season 2, Ray. That's a clip from season 2. This is season 2 shit of The Mandalorian. Like, what the fuck? That's post Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker out there handling motherfucking business as the baddest of asses of Jedis left in the galaxy. So anybody talking that shit about season 2 was garbage, don't like the show, don't know what the fuck they talking about. Because if you ask them how they think about Ahsoka, they probably say, oh, it was awesome. Fuck you. No, it wasn't. No, it fucking wasn't. Good. I hope you got your listening ears on. Beastly said, how come Star Killer didn't find her? Because that's some more canon shit they got to work in there. Sam Witwer was there. I mean, as far as I know, he was the one doing the voice of that Marok or whatever the fuck that fake Darth Maul character that they made up was. So fucking what? I don't know why everybody's so jazzed about him meeting up with Star Killer just because they want to see, oh, look, two apprentices going against each other. Vader's apprentice and Anakin's apprentice. Well, apparently Starkiller was stronger. Because I didn't play through all of The Force Unleashed 1 and 2. But as far as I know, I think Starkiller ended up bringing down a fucking Star Destroyer. Just saying. That's the apprentice with the dual light-colored lightsabers you're supposed to be getting. Not fucking Ahsoka. Dave Filoni's made-up character sewn into the Star Wars universe at every important plot point. So she is indispensable now with Star Wars. You can sell this character like you sell an R2-D2. Damn near the same color scheme. Now, the rest of the shit in this episode, I've done a whole reaction video to it. 40 fucking minutes. Go watch it. Because I don't feel like talking about it again, really. I really don't. I am curious to see what happens in the next episode. This whole thing with these fucking Purgios, these space whales and shit, that might as well have been a Kathleen Kennedy idea. Because you know she always trying to inject fucking animals into this shit. Dinosaurs, whales, whatever the fuck. Something environmental so you can get that message out there. Like those goofy ass bipedal creatures in Last Jedi. Oh, they're just being tortured. These are horse races. These are so terrible. Profiting off of this stuff. This is so terrible. Shut the fuck up with these fake ass environmental messages. But yeah. Last episode, whatever, it happened. I do not think Sabine should have done any better in the fight against Shin than she did the first time. She shouldn't have did any better. She should have actually did worse. You know why? Because Shin would have went in harder on her ass, even though Shin was only sent there to delay them. I think she'd be delayed a lot if I cut her fucking leg off. It'd make it real hard for her to run and get involved in anything. But you know, women in Star Wars holding lightsabers don't lose limbs. Nobody does. They don't get killed with lightsabers and they don't lose limbs. Because, oh my God, it'd be absolutely horrific to see a woman lose a limb from playing with a lightsaber. Luke lost a whole fucking hand. He is one of our heroes. Vader lost 2 legs and an arm. Nigga, we were still kind of rooting for his ass. Still respected him. No, only the men can get killed and hurt from this shit. Everybody else playing with Nerf sabers. It hit, but it don't wound. While also cutting trees and everything else down. But they'll be all right. Yeah, just flesh wounds. Cigarette burns. Black Bang was pointing this shit out, and I laughed because I thought about it too. He talked about Force Awakens and how Qui-Gon buried his lightsaber through that blast door. 2 double thick blast doors. He buried his lightsaber in that bitch and held it there and just turned it. And you saw how hot it was, that it was melting the door. Melting the door. He didn't flip a switch on it and turn it up to high. He just stuck it in there. Now you take that scene and flip over to this Ahsoka show, or flip over to the Obi-Wan show that did that fucking objectionable bullshit, and watch these people getting stabbed with lightsabers and just the fuck am I watching? An Errol Flynn movie? No, that's not what happens from lightsaber stabs. No. And then flip that shit over to say, well, why did Qui-Gon die? I heard somebody trying to give the excuse that, oh, well, he was kind of exhausted and it could have severed his spine and stuff like that. So cutting Darth Maul in half didn't sever his goddamn spine? I don't know about y'all. I had a friend that couldn't use his legs. From the top up, he was a regular dude. He just couldn't use his legs. He could fuck dude. Not because he's fucking me, but he had chicks. Everything else worked. He just couldn't use his damn legs. So you mean to tell me Darth Maul can survive and come back with spider legs, getting his spine cut in half? But Qui-Gon Jinn, because he was kind of exhausted, getting stabbed through his stomach, maybe hitting his spine, was all of a sudden a terminal ill wound. He just died on the spot. No. But once you understand that, why I hate backfilling so fucking much, Darth Maul coming back was Clone Wars shit. That's somebody wanting to use this character again. For what? So can I have their character fighting? Give their character some validity. Because everybody talks about the fight with Ahsoka and Maul in Clone Wars. Yeah, I saw it. It was a good fight. Shouldn't have happened, though. Because Maul's supposed to be fucking dead. So we don't need no badass scene with Ahsoka fighting Maul, where she kind of beats him. We don't need that shit. Because Maul should be dead. But this is canon busting. to prop up your character. Now, you could say that, hey, Darth Maul was a cool character. We probably shouldn't have killed his ass off. Yeah, maybe not, but he is dead. Qui-Gon was cool too. Still dead. Obi-Wan was really cool. Still dead. And Anakin, Vader, Skywalker, cool character, equally as dead. All this backfilling shit you're doing just to keep trying to spin a story out of it for your own benefit is bullshit. I don't like it. And I'm seeing the fruits that is bared after all these years of constantly plucking these characters in there, and all this inconsistent shit is what's coming out in this Ahsoka show that I was actually looking forward to. So, like dumb shit in Marvel, I'm just waiting for it to be over. I'm just waiting for it to be over. Just like I was with Indy 5. I'm tired of talking about it. Just get to the fucking end so we can stop talking about it. That's all I'm waiting for you to do. How many episodes you got left? 5, 4? Just let me know so I know when I can stop talking about this shit. But it's not impressing me. And every time I hear somebody talking about how wonderful it is, 9.5. Nick, where did you get Revenge of the Sith? What did you rank Return of the Jedi? This is true Star Wars. No, the fuck it ain't. Can't be true Star Wars. It got too many inconsistencies with Star Wars. So how can it be true Star Wars? It got more scenes taken from other shows than show itself. If you take out all the scenes that were ripped off from other shows, Clone Wars, Rebels, Star Trek, any of that shit, you take all it out of there, what do you have? You don't even have enough to make a fucking short. So what are we talking about? What are we clapping like circus seals for? Bullshit. Just because somebody threw us a fish. Fuck no. They gave us a lightsaber fight. So fucking what? There's lightsaber fights all over the internet by people who are fans of Star Wars that look a lot better than this shit. Fuck. Michelle C. Smith is a real person. She can do a lightsaber fight by herself. Make it look better than this. And she ain't even using special effects. So I don't want to hear it. I'm really having a hard time listening to these motherfuckers. Like, I'm really looking at them like, man, tuck your pockets in, the money falling out. Fuck. And big D energy. All up in you. So, I don't know. That's it for me. I'm going to get out of here because y'all really slow or non-existent in the chat. So I don't know if anybody actually wants to come up here. I put the link out to Black Bane, but I guess he ain't back from the gym yet, so he's not going to see it till too late. I got half the number of contributors I needed to do the full show, which would be about 4 hours. So pay for half a show, you got half a show. Just double checking. Yep, that's it. Nobody has donated in over 10:46. 1, 2, yeah, 2 some hours. Yeah, okay, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here then. Going with my Sunday. Take care of some fun business. But if you're watching either one of these shows, Ahsoka, Foundation, I won't say peace be with you, but do come back with some commentary so we can actually compare notes. Because you could have saw something I didn't. That's the conversation. But I can't tell you I'm completely happy with this because I'm sick of seeing men's life work torn down by people who don't know how to create anything. I'm really sick of seeing that shit. That is disappointing and depressing in some ways because it means no matter what you create, there's some woman standing by saying you created it under some false pretenses and it needs to be torn down, that they're better creators than you. But the only thing they create is chaos and tearing down your works. They can't create shit else. Definitely not create a league of their own. So I'm going to get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, support stream if you feel so inclined. I have been artisanmc. This has been Shop Talk Live. I do this every Sunday from 11 until it's over. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.